Hey guys, Tiara and Sarah here with another video. Thanks for tuning into our channel and don't forget to subscribe below.
The legal committee has been discussing the different facets of the mass surveillance issue. They are currently discussing surveillance in developing countries.
They've had a mini crisis where the former Russian intelligence agency officer, Snoward Edwin, claims he's evidence Russia has been able to hack into the NSA and the DGSE and now has access to personal information of millions of American and French civilians.
Russia formally denies these allegations as they have no employment records for Edwin, and he was never a part of the Russian Federation.
An ongoing crisis due to a group of activists across the world named Stop Watching Us has resulted with a hashtag campaign called #NotYourData.
#NotYourData is trending worldwide with over 2 million tweets in the past 48 hours, and a live interview to come with the leader of the campaign is expected.
There's also been buzz about planned attacks by an emerging potential terrorist group called Fight for Freedom.
So there's some really intense things going on in this committees. Fingers crossed our delegates will come through. And in the UNEP committee, France boldly motions for a vote by acclamation on their delegation's loan-sponsored resolution regarding the garbage patch crisis, then retracts this because their delegation realizes it's a little too risky.
As debates begin, the committee focuses on how to approach the global water crisis, debating the validity of desalination, many urging responsible water use in developed nations, citing wasteful agriculture practices, carnivore diets, and the textile industry. Developed countries rebut claims that they should provide funding to developing countries to solve the issue of water crisis, with Russia specifically calling out Uganda and Pakistan for investing in their armies rather than their water infrastructure.
Furthermore, THM, which are environmental pollutants, have been found in high levels in the freshwater bodies of Pakistan, Malaysia, Maldives, and Vietnam.
None of these nations affected have strong enough infrastructure with regard to water security, and it's reflected in the contamination's effects, as not only have 570 people died this far, but 150 more die with every 3 minutes they pass without a resolution.
So right now, they're providing summaries on their draft resolutions in a moderated caucus to hopefully address this severe problem. A crisis update was issued in SOCHUM indicating that the Swiss company Golden Gate Inc. was responsible for harvesting data from various social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, Amazon, and Google. As a response to this crisis update, Japan urges the committee to investigate into the Golden Gate company.
Whereas Syria and Serbia say that the transfer of data was not illegal. Furthermore, Saudi Arabia urges that it is a domestic concern for Switzerland for not managing their company adequately and thus not a concern for the UN.
The situation in Myanmar continues to escalate as Facebook groups organize attacks on Rohingya villages in response to yesterday's riots, but the Myanmar government has not reacted.
Another resolution that has been passed in UNPFII mandating that China recognizes that Uyghur Muslim population as indigenous and recognizes that human rights violations in the re-education camp.
Democratic countries like USA, DRC, and Denmark encourages countries like Kenya and China to follow in their footsteps by providing more representation of indigenous people within their government.
Unsurprisingly, Donald Trump sent out a tweet at 3 a.m. last night denouncing the idea of designating indigenous seats in government and has likened to an affirmative action. So this has shifted the opinions of many world leaders and prominent politicians, and many are adopting his point of view on the issue in countries like DRC and China.
UNPFII are discussing some very heavy topics. Hopefully, world leaders realize this and recognize the importance of indigenous representation.
That's all for now. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Over to our reporter Aditi for some more information.
So I'm here with two of our delegates from the United Nations Environment Program, and we're going to be discussing the current crisis that's ongoing. So can you, in 1 to 2 sentences, describe the nature of the crisis?
There have been dangerous levels of trihalomethanes found in the drinking water of 4 Southeast Asian countries. There have already been multiple casualties, hundreds of casualties in fact, due to drinking this unclean water.
Okay, and I understand you recently passed a resolution to address this crisis. What was the purpose of that resolution?
Hi, yes, as the Malaysian delegate, one of the affected countries, we are happy that the resolution was recently passed in support of immediate action and immediate relief to the affected countries. in the form of carbon filters and bottled water. The Malaysia delegation is looking forward to further investigation into how we can remove the source of contaminants from our water, as well as the UN-backed support of further research and development into developing the affected nation's water infrastructure.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.